Welcome to The Process. It is Monday, November 8th. I am Josh Engleman, and I am here to break down all of it. Every single game, and today, it's absolutely perfect. We've got an 8-gamer. This is the dream slate as far as I'm concerned. The perfect size. It's going to be a good one. At least, I hope so. I haven't touched any NBA DFS since Friday, so I'm eager to dive back in. I'm happy to see everybody in chat. Tons of coffee cups showing up. Philip's dropping the donut in there. I have, oh God. So it's a new place downtown. I was on my way to the Liverpool match last week. Stopped there with my wife, got coffees and a donut. Same story this past week. They make apple cider donuts just coated perfectly in cinnamon and sugar. They provide you the donut hole as well, also coated cinnamon and sugar. Best donut I've ever had that isn't trying to be something that it's not. Like, we got a place here called Wake and Bake Donuts. They make a creme brulee donut. You know, it's got cream filling and a crunchy sugar crust. Like, you're trying to soup this up. This is a basic apple cinnamon sugar donut. Phenomenal. It took everything in my being to not get a second one. It honestly took everything in my being to not eat an entire dozen. But this is my new thing. So, Philip, I appreciate seeing that donut because if I could have one every day, I would. It is a delectable treat. Liverpool is on international break next week, so I won't have one next week. I got to wait 2 weekends to get another one. The anticipation will be incredible next Thursday or 2 Thursday, Friday, Saturdays from now, but it's going to be good. So, good morning to everybody. It's good to see everybody. I hope you all had a good weekend, picked up some W's in whatever you were playing, or just had a good weekend in general. I know I did. Make sure you hit the like button. That is the biggest piece here. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the NFL Live Before Lock show yesterday, but first look got out of the gates with like 650, 700 likes. It was great. Deeper dive crew. I got to give Laffy and Ben and the boss man Alex Baker their due. They got up to like 2,000 likes on the deeper dive. I think it's the most liked piece of content we've ever had. So that's kind of exciting. I can't get to everybody on that one on the process show. Can't be hunting down 1,000, at least not yet. Maybe that's a goal, but if we can get everybody in here hitting it, that'd be great. Well, we got 8 games to talk about. Contenders videos out after this, strategy show later today. I will be on Live Before Lock tonight as well with Greg, so we've got that. I wish that I wasn't on a day like today. Since it's an 8-gamer, I'd like to focus, but it'll be fine. There's only one game locking at 7, and then it jumps to 8. So news will probably be either uneventful totally from 6 to 7, or we get real weird stuff from like 6:55 on. So that'll be fun. Morning to everybody in here. Andrew, how would you go about setup for late swap? Do you play the latest game in the second spot, or does it not matter? It does not matter. You don't have to set anything up. I mean, other than like if you're trying to make sure you have someone in a late game, but the order of people that you put in the lineup doesn't matter. To me, because of the way that positions are set up, generally speaking for FanDuel, at least back in the day, pre-MPE, it legitimately didn't matter. Now, you can make a case that you want to like leave different spots open, but it's not something I pay attention to at all. I'd make my lineups without considering late swap. I know it's going to happen one way or the other. Like, I'm going to late swap almost guaranteed before the late game start. So, Hugo. Even if Emmanuel Sanders just did what he did yesterday, which was like 4 catches for 65 yards, it's a 5-figure day for me. Alrighty. Well, I think it's about that time we dive in. What do you guys say? And you know what? I'm really excited for this. One, I've been waiting patiently for the past 45 minutes to drink my coffee. I wait for you guys, not for me. I want to experience that first coffee with everybody else. I got my new Yeti mug. Got a handle on it now. Debuting this one. Shout out 1AB. I think that's it's facing the right way, right? Yep. Shout out 1AB. New mug. Cheers, everybody. Rise and grind. That's what we got going on today. We're breaking down 8 games. I'm happy to have everybody here. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffees. Let's knock these bad boys back. Let's get this day started. That's that good stuff right there. Bluegrass Jeff, you didn't wait. Half pot in. I feel like it's bad luck for me. It's actually something that I think about. Let's switch this over to the process side. We'll transition this screen. First, before I talk a little bit more about my coffee, shout out to PrizePicks for being the presenting sponsor of this video. Use the promo code Awesemo when you sign up at PrizePicks. Get yourself a 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100. Cannot beat it. Let me look just quickly because they had a couple up early on Friday. And I want to double check because I didn't check during the show. Nah, no fantasy scores up yet. Either way, we have tons of content on the website that will help you out at PrizePicks. I suggest you use it. Now, what the hell was I talking about? Coffee, half pot. No, so I feel like if I'm going to drink a coffee on the stream, and cheers everybody, that I have to wait for my cheers to be legitimate. I got to wait to join so that everybody joins. Otherwise, I don't feel like I get the same vibes out of it. I know that's probably preposterous. Clearly, maybe not clearly, but for all intents and purposes, clearly an untrue statement. Not changing the vibe of anything. No one would ever know, but I would know. I want my coffee to be with you guys. Did I play AP over Henderson last night? I did not play NFL anything yesterday. I was out and about. Liverpool played. I watched that. I got sad because we were terrible. And then picked up some lunch, hung out a little bit because it was a pretty nice day. Came home, watched the most recent episode of Foundation, and woke up on the couch. All right, we're diving in. New York Knicks, 4.5-point underdogs in Philadelphia, 210 total. Not ideal. Kemba Walker, probable. Derrick Rose, questionable on the back-to-back. I'm not doing anything until we see that go a different direction. So this should be business as usual for the Knicks. We saw Kemba not play the front end, so it's certainly very reasonable that Derrick Rose could sit on this end. Rose has played 30 minutes in back-to-back. He was cooking on Friday, and then just playing without Kemba is going to get him to 30 minutes. So have we seen anything? Has anybody seen anything on the Knicks actually talking about sitting Rose today? Like, is it just not an official distinction because of the back-to-back? No, doesn't know. We won't know until they have to put out an injury report. Since they're on a back-to-back, they're not required to do anything right now. So I'm going to leave in Kemba for what had been his normal minutes, which was right around like 28. There's not much that needs to change here for the Knicks. Is the assumption, should we assume that Derrick Rose is going to play more? I don't think so. I don't think that he's suddenly going to be into more minutes, especially today on the back-to-back. Mitchell Robinson's minutes, I don't really worry about all that much. I assume Nerlens Noel did not start that most recent game and play 30 minutes? I'm going to guess that was Mitchell Robinson foul trouble. That's the only way that makes too much sense to me. So he picked up 0 there. Just one short rotation. Went long with Nerlens Noel. Oh, he just wasn't very good. And then they let Noel close in a bit of a blowout. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that one. Don't have to worry about that one at all. Alrighty. So I don't really think I'm changing anything here. It's not like, I mean, maybe I should be bringing Mitchell Robinson's minutes down a hair. Maybe do something like 28-20 or 27-21 now that Noel is there. That's probably a little bit more reasonable. Because it's not like they have a problem going to more Noel. So 27-21 I think makes some sense at center. I don't care at all about Obi Toppin's minutes. Julius Randle in for 37 I think is fine. Evan Fournier in for 32 is probably too many. So let's do this. I think these minutes are just going to stick. I'm happy here. Well, RJ Barrett can use a 4th minute there. We'll take one from quickly. Now we're good. So Knicks are done. That was easy. Let's go to Philly. On the Philly side, Q tag on Danny Green. We still don't have Tobias Harris, Simmons, obviously. Now, no Thibault, no Isaiah Joe. What do we know officially about Danny Green? Because that's a big chunk of minutes. Let's get the tunage in the background too. Click. Just realized there was some silence. We don't want that in the background. That's not going to be fun. All right, Danny Green. Questionable. I'm going to have to put Danny Green in because he doesn't have anything to do with this the COVID nonsense that's going on for Philly. No, the only thing that slows down Embiid is my exposure to Joel Embiid because he certainly had no problem, whatever it was, Saturday, doing it. Got to move the coffee to the right side so I can easily pick it up with the new handle. 80 viewers, 42 likes. It's not the worst ratio in the world. Could be better. Could be better. All right, so no Tobias Harris, clearly. No Matisse Thybulle, clearly. So Drummond's minutes seem fine. Embiid's minutes seem fine. That's all good right now. I'm fine with Maxi's minutes. Shake played 34 and 35 and a half over the past 2. Now, if Danny Green's back, I don't know how true that is, but I actually don't think it's going to matter. Danny Green is just going to slot in playing 30 minutes here. At the 3, 34 minutes for Seth Curry. That's just standard issue at this point. George Niang in for 30. We got to get Korkmaz in there for some minutes. So let's take Niang down to 28. Paul Reed down to 14. Okay, so we are going to be able to move some minutes around. Who else is... So they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... They went 8-man rotation on Saturday. And that wasn't with Danny Green. So they have 9 guys available. So that'd be where we would be right now. Although I think I need to give Korkmaz more than 22 minutes. So we will take 2 off of Shake. So let's... That gets me to 24 on Korkmaz. That doesn't work for me. But I think Niang has to play more than Korkmaz or Danny Green. Or at least close to it. Maybe Danny Green isn't ready to play 30. Let's go 28. And then we can go 26 to Korkmaz. That might be the best that we can do here. 9-man rotation. We don't have to worry about center. The Maxey Curry minutes seem set in stone. So it's really just figuring out Danny Green, Korkmaz, and the 4. But at the 4, it seems to just be Niang, and what amounts to Paul Reed is like the only real way that they can do it. So I think this works. Let's sum these guys up quickly. There we go. All right, summing it up. Start with the Knicks. That was team number 1. This game kicks off at 7 o'clock, and then we've got an hour till the 8 o'clock game. So make sure you're building your dummy lineups that don't include anything for the 7s. Then we got 2 8 o'clock games, 8:30, 9, 10, 10:30. So slow trickle, which is really annoying for trying to do stuff at night. I like it when everything locks at the same time, but should make the beginning of the night a little easier. So on FanDuel, actually, let me open up my Crunch workbook so I can clear that stuff out. Not a lot to like from the Knicks on FanDuel or DraftKings, if we want to be perfectly honest here. It's pretty bad. At best, you're hoping for one of these Knicks guys to be out for rest. I'm still willing to take my chances on Mitchell Robinson because I think when it's good, 4,300, he blows that out of the water. We're still talking about a fantasy point per minute guy. Randall's the best option here, but I think most of New York looks bad today. On the Philly side, $9,300 Joel Embiid will be highly owned by me. Since he had a decent game last time out, I assume he sucks against the Knicks. $9,800 on DraftKings as well. Those are just great prices for Joel Embiid. There's no way around it. I don't mind going to Maxey, $5,800 and $5,900. The role is there, just not performing the way you really want him to. Seth Curry is not fun to pay $5,200 and $5,800 for, but so much opportunity. Shake's probably a little overpriced. Maybe not the $5,200 on DraftKings, but $5,600 on FanDuel. I don't really care too much for the rest of this value. Maybe Danny Green. Maybe. And we'll do something like that and be okay. Whose usage do I not have to care about? Probably everybody's, I guess. We'll clear that out at some point in time. Either way, not a huge fan of Philly. Clear that out. Clear that out. I'll do something like that. I think that's probably going to work better. Yeah, Philly's really... It's just a hard game to get to in general. New York, solid defensively, slow. I mean, we're talking about the slowest team in the league in Philly and the 4th slowest team in the Knicks. Like, this game's a slog for fantasy. We'd be done with it. And one game in the first 19 minutes, definitely need to pick up the pace here. So do you guys in hitting that like button. Let's go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn at Chicago. This could be a real interesting DFS game, depending on if there's any news. So on the Brooklyn side of this, we've got Blake is probable. LaMarcus is questionable. We don't have Nick Claxton for a while. We don't know about James Johnson. So, let's look at Brooklyn. I don't think we have anything major to worry about here. They haven't played so the only back-to-back they played this year, Aldridge did sit out. I think it's a little different. Well, they have enough big men that they can do that again, but I'm not going to deal with that until he's actually out. Is there a blurb on it? Have they talked about it at all? No. Okay. That's easier. Well, then there's probably not much going on here. Bruce Brown is pretty firmly into, what, 30 minutes a game? About right. 21 minutes for Aldridge. Sure. 14 for Paul Millsap. Probably too many. Take that to 12. Blake has played increased minutes these past 3, so I am going to care about that now. Just going to give him those minutes immediately. Got him up to 24. So someone needs less minutes. Javon Carter is looking like he's going to draw that straw. So we'll give him whatever's left when we're done here. Patty Mills in for 25, I'm fine with. Then we'll go to 14 here. 21 and 11. So 32 for Joe Harris. Sure. I'm going to get too much Bruce Brown today. That'll be fun. We'll do... That gets Blake up to 27. Makes him a little bit more reasonable. I'll give Carter back his 8. That locks in Brooklyn. So then let's switch it over to Chicago. This is going to be a really good fantasy game. I'm expecting well, Durant and Harden, obviously on an 8-gamer against the Bulls, are going to stand out. There's just no way around that. And then I expect Chicago to look good on the opposite side. Levine in, no Patrick White, no Kobe White, or Patrick Williams, Kobe White. We know that already. So business as usual for the Bulls. Centipede, good morning. Yikes. All right, so we're going to go... Yeah, I think in a dream scenario, when they're closing, it's Caruso. So we're going to have to get Caruso a couple extra minutes. And I think just doing it like that works. Oh, how am I 2 over? Do that? That works. 34 minutes for Vooch. Honestly, yeah, that works. Wow, Vooch is popping big time on FanDuel. Lonzo is too. Levine is to a degree. Although I guess I probably need to give Levine an extra minute. Yeah, that looks good to me. That looks real good. Tony Bradley, backup center. Vooch, starting minutes. Derek Jones, just a part of the rotation. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Now we're good. Now we're good. Chicago in. All right. I'm expecting to like this game. All right, Brooklyn. James Harden is 9,600 on FanDuel. Yep. I expect to have some James Harden, Joel Embiid combos today. That's for sure. On DraftKings, Durant is cheaper than Harden. Going to be hard to not want to go to Durant over Harden in that spot. On DraftKings, I mean, there's some value here, too. Like, Joe Harris has been terrible. He's 4,200, could shoot his way into a good game today. Bruce Brown, I have at 0.75 fantasy points per minute in this matchup. 4,200 and 4,400. I think he works as a value. Blake Griffin, 0.8 fantasy points per minute this year, but 3,900 on FanDuel, 4,300 on DraftKings. There is value to be had in Brooklyn. Someone's going to fall into it, too. Now, on the Bulls, $7,700 Vooch on FanDuel. That price is not correct. Like, it's just not. So that'll help chop up some of the Embiid ownership. 8,600 for Vooch on DraftKings still looks really good. I don't really have anything that I want to change there. Lonzo on FanDuel is 5,900. I like that a lot more than the $6,800 price on DraftKings. Zach LaVine is 8K on FanDuel, 8,600. I'm going to be playing a lot of those Bulls, LaVine, Lonzo, and Vooch in particular. On DraftKings, I think Caruso for 4,200 also works as a value option. 112 viewers, 68 likes. We are coming up on the 7 o'clock mark. We're looking to have 100 likes by 7 a.m. So if you haven't hit it yet, help us out. And check out Prize Picks, presenting sponsor of this show. On to Minnesota and Memphis. So for the Wolves, who I legitimately have no idea if anybody's healthy or not, I always feel so, untied to the NBA Monday morning. Russell's still out. I'm positive he's going to have a Q tag to make this awful. Yeah, Q tag, ankle sprain. And at this point, we have to sort of assume that he's going to be back, unless we've got an interesting blurb. Practiced on Sunday. So we'll know after shoot around, which means he's going back into the lineup. So we'll take those minutes away and we'll start plotting this. So Russell goes back to the 29 minutes a game that he was playing. Actually, we'll make it 30 because it would be weird not to. Pat Bev was playing 22 minutes a game. So let's do that. At that point, Jordan McLaughlin was playing, 12. So 14, 16. We need to shave 13 minutes somewhere. Doesn't seem ideal. Is it just Josh Okogie? It's just Josh Okogie. Done. Easy. Easy stuff. Am I okay with 36 minutes on Edwards? No. I am okay with 35 minutes on Edwards, though. All right, so I have 2 left over. Vanderbilt gets them, just by default. 30 minutes for Russell seems good enough. The rest of this seems fine. Malik Beasley, though, I guess is probably going to drop down a little bit. Let's go to 27 and get Vanderbilt up. No, I don't want that much Vanderbilt. Let's hide that minute. All right, Minnesota in the books. There's a couple guys that look okay. Anthony Edwards in particular is at the top of it at 35 minutes. Towns would be second. No surprises. We're on to Memphis. Ken K, good morning. Tony Wilson, happy to help. All righty, Memphis. The Grizz. Still no Dylan Brooks. Zaire Williams, questionable. Same rotation as normal for this team. They haven't done anything weird in a while. I don't have to change any of these minutes, I don't believe. I think having Bane... Should Melton have 29? That's really the question. And I don't think the answer is yes. So let's just move forward with Memphis and Minnesota. So for the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards on FanDuel is 7,900, 8K on DraftKings. That would be my favorite piece. Obligatory Jaden McDaniels is 3,100 on DraftKings mention. That is a price tag that could matter depending on how efficient the DraftKings pricing is, but I don't get the sense you're going to go there a lot. He's not a great play. That's like a one every month type deal. Edwards and Towns, that's really all that we're looking at here if Russell's back. On the Memphis side, Ja, 9,100 on both sites. Given the way that he's playing, 1.28 FanDuel points per minute so far this season, I don't mind a $9,100 price tag on Ja at all. I think it's the best price we've seen in this game. Although Steven Adams is 4,500 on DraftKings, another price that you could very easily play. Probably too expensive on FanDuel given the value on Vooch and Embiid. There's always a ceiling on Jaren Jackson at 5,800 on DraftKings. Desmond Bane, 5K on FanDuel, 4,700 on DraftKings, 4,700 on DK for Bane. The fact that he has only small forward eligibility is a joke. But that's a really nice price tag for Desmond Bane. I would say that Bane, Adams, and Morant are all like good plays today on DK. Shlomo, appreciate you. I appreciate you. 7 o'clock. 125 viewers, 76 likes. You're slipping on me, guys. You're slipping on me. I know we're going to get there, but it's really fun to get out of the gates like that. So we will keep moving. We have 5 games to go. New Orleans Pelicans at the Dallas Mavericks. Pels are 9-point dogs in this one. And that's probably because they're really bad this year. Q tag on Brandon Ingram, Q tag on Herb Jones. This seems pretty normal. Although at this point, I just have to assume Brandon Ingram will come back. I'm going to assume that Ingram is finally playing today. Botnuts, good morning. What do we know about Herb Jones' concussion? Oh, sore left ankle. All right. So I'm assuming Herb Jones and Brandon Ingram are both back, which should help New Orleans be 5% more respectable than they've been. Ingram's been out for 4 games. So we're going to say Ingram comes right back in to 35 minutes. Bang. And Herb Jones is going to go back into the role that he was playing very temporarily in one game when Josh Hart wasn't healthy. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Herb Jones just fell out of the rotation, too, depending on if they wanted to go to Garrett Temple or not. But I think Garrett Temple will be the guy that comes out of it when he can. Botnuts. I mean, he was concussed. That was the original injury. Forgot he hurt the ankle, too. In warm-ups, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. 33 minutes for Joe Val. We can cut that down to 32 and 12 here. Nope, 11 here. Oh, Willie Hernan-Gomez is back out, so I don't think they're going small. 32-16. Ingram in for 35. Trey Murphy in for backup run. I actually got to take basically everything out of here and then figure it out from there. So, Devontae Graham, 33 minutes. I think I got 32, which doesn't really improve him at all. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 32 minutes? 31 minutes? I'm really concerned with what they're going to do with this rotation. Who am I missing here? Najee Marshall? Is that... I find it hard to believe Garrett Temple's going to leave the rotation, but maybe he will. Hopefully it's just easier and Herb Jones just doesn't play. There's a little bit to like here from the Pels, unfortunately. What do we got on the Dallas side? Oh, guys, another one in the book. So I think I talked about this on Friday. I do want to talk about it again right now. No process show Thursday and Friday of this week. I'm taking a little bit of a getaway Wednesday, leaving Wednesday afternoon. So I will not be waking up at the butt crack of dawn Thursday and Friday for this show, unfortunately. My apologies for that. I will have contenders videos out, though, for both days. So don't worry about that. They'll be out ultra early each morning. But taking 2 days. All right, Dallas. No Maxey. That's it. So this should be pretty easy to handle. We saw the Zinger get back and play 28 minutes on Saturday. That's what I have him in for right now. That's what I'm going to leave. Rotation for Willie Cauley-Stein. Rotation for Dwight Powell. That all seems fine. Looks like they maintained a little bit longer with Ntilikina. 35 minutes for Luka. Yeah. 33 for DFS. Make that 32. 33 for Hardaway. Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. Actually, let's make that 32 as well. Brunson 25. I think that dude is just firm into the 30s now. So let's take away those 4 Frank Ntilikina minutes and give them to Jalen Brunson. Takes him to 29. That feels right. Luka in for 35. Done. Will I still do my play more or less on Thursday and Friday? No, I won't. I won't be around at lock. At least I don't expect to be. Hey, Guru, Thursday is not a holiday to us. There are no holidays here. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know. I think I remember that because that was like the impetus of this since my wife is off, but we're not off. All right, Dallas. Actually, we want to look at the Pels first. So Joe Val again, still for 8,500, I think is fine. Probably should take a little bit of a haircut with no Brandon Ingram. Nothing too crazy. I thought there was more value here for the Pels. There's not really. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is probably my second favorite option. Maybe a little Devontae Graham. That's about it. Dallas, I think, looks different, though. Love getting to Luka. Pels don't have anybody to slow him down. So 10-2 on FanDuel, 10-7 on DraftKings. Absolutely happy to pay up for Luka. $6,700 zinger, sure. Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah, maybe this game's not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. It's kind of gross. All right, 4 more to go. We're at the halfway point. 86 likes. We're getting there. Miami Heat at Denver. The Heat are 2.5-point favorites. 205.5 total. Lowest on the slate. So low, in fact, that I don't trust that I entered it correctly. So that was Miami and Denver. Nope, I did enter it correctly. Okay. So for Miami, Q-tag on Max Strus. That is it. What do we know about his health? I thought he was supposed to be out for a bit, so I'm curious to see him questionable. Is he close? I'm not going to care. Going to leave him out for now. It won't matter. Shouldn't matter. Butler, Lowry, Bam, Hero. Those minutes are all pretty clear at this point. Although I got Jimmy in for 34. I think pretty clearly I have to make that 35. That just has to happen. Kyle Lowry, I think in for 34 is correct for close games. Bam 33 feels like it needs to be 34. That works. Tyler Hero, I think 30 is correct, but I am going to go to 31 because I don't ever get him. After that, I don't think it matters. PJ Tucker, I mean, Duncan Robinson is always fine at 30 minutes. PJ Tucker doesn't matter. Markieff Morris doesn't matter. Caleb Martin doesn't matter. So Miami's good there. I'm going to get a little bit more Miami than I normally do. At least I think. On to Denver. Don't know what's going on with Denver, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing. No Michael Porter Jr. Did not know that. No Jamal Murray. Monty Morris is in. I just want to know more about Porter. Is that a weekend thing? Lower back soreness. That is not ideal. All right, well, let's take Porter out. I assume it's PJ Dozier season. I think that's what we're about to be doing here. So, all right, let's try to figure this out. Denver Nuggies. We also need to think about it from a usage perspective. Monty Morris, I think, should be a little bit higher in minutes. Let's go to 30. Let's go to 31. Take Campazzo to 17. Will Barton, 34 minutes. Done. Let's take Dozier's minutes out. Let's take Bones Highland out. Austin Rivers out. Jermichael Green out. Jeff Green out. Aaron Gordon out. I need to rebuild Denver all the way. So Monty Morris, Facundo Campazzo, point guard minutes, 31-17 split, check. Nikola Jokic, 34 minutes, fine. Just where we want to be. Backup 5 minutes, we'll say, is nominally Jeff Green. There's 14. I'm going to give him 2 more, take him to 16. JaMychal Green, I'm going to say, plays 12. Aaron Gordon in for 30. And then the real question is who steps into the rotation. I guess Austin Rivers probably just goes from out to back in. That's probably the piece that makes the most sense. So I'm going to bump Will Barton to the 3, and technically even mildly to the 4. Although, I guess it's probably a decent day to learn who cleaning the glass qualifies into the 4 on the Nuggets. Sometimes I just want to know this stuff. If I burn it in my brain quick enough, we're all right. So the 4s on Denver are technically Aaron Gordon, JaMychal Green, Michael Porter Jr. All right, so they do Dozier ahead of Barton. Never mind. We're going to bump Will Barton back down. $34. Bang. All right, so Dozier in the stead of Michael Porter Jr., I'm going to give him, if I give him 28 minutes, it's not all that crazy. And I don't think that that's all that crazy. Now, they could go to Bones Island for more creation if they want. If I give Bones 16 minutes, that would leave me 22 for Austin Rivers, which we're clearly not doing. So let's give Austin Rivers those 14, which means I do think PJ Dozier at 28 minutes is real. I think taking Bones to 20 is reasonable. And I think just giving more minutes to like JaMychal Green is probably the most likely scenario. So 16 and 16. I don't want to go too much more than 30 for Gordon. I mean, he's only broken that full strength once. I don't totally feel like they're just going to throw minutes at him. And he looks like an okay enough play that it doesn't matter. So that's Denver and Miami. I think that one took some time, but I think it was worth it. So on Miami, Bam Adebayo, 8,400 and 8,100 is pretty clearly the best thing that you can get to for the Heat. Kyle Lowry at $6,200 on FanDuel just continues to be wildly underpriced. He's $1,700 cheaper than he is on DraftKings. I don't have much else. So Butler, Bam, Lowry, and Hero are the only guys that you can roster from Miami. Lowry looks better on FanDuel. Butler looks fine across both sites. Bam looks the best across both sites. Hero's just scary at 6,400 and 6,600. You just need a very specific game. Now for Denver, paying up for Jokic, 11-1 on FanDuel, 11K on DraftKings. I think I have to say that I assume I'm going to prefer Luka, but ownership will dictate that decision. There's just so much center talent. It does make me feel like I'm going to get away from Jokic more than I would like. Bones Island is 3,600 on FanDuel, flat 3K on DraftKings. That needs to get paid attention to, but I think it's more likely that you're going to want to go to PJ Dozier, 3,600 on FanDuel, 3,300 on DraftKings with shooting guard, small forward eligibility. There's a lot of value here, particularly on the DK side. Highland, Dozier, Aaron Gordon to a lesser degree at 4,900. Monty Morris at 4,100 isn't the worst option. Will Barton at 5,500, guard forward eligibility. Denver probably has the most options to just simply rotate through. But I expect Dozier to be the guy that benefits the most, and 3,300 is going to be one of the better value options you'll find. Save this file, 3 to go. And not only Not only do we have 3 games to go, we have 3 likes to go until we hit that 100 mark. Atlanta and Golden State. That's actually a game that I am excited to see. We'll start with the Hawks, who could have 20 guys in or out, and I wouldn't know. Probable tag on John Collins, still no Okongwu, so full strength team here. What did we see last time out for Atlanta? Normal standard issue stuff. Why DeLon Wright's not in the rotation anymore, I'll never know. I don't know why you would want to play Lou Will over DeLon Wright. It doesn't make any sense to me, but they're certainly doing it, so sure. Clint Capella got his 30 minutes, 3 straight games. I'm going to bump him up again. We've got John Collins in for 31. That feels a touch low. We're going to take him up to 32. Gallo is just pretty consistently playing limited-ish minutes. DeAndre Hunter at 30. Should probably be 29, if we're being honest. Cam Reddish at 28. That can 100% come down. 26, I guess. 28 on Bogdanovich. Let's make that 29. Kevin Huerter, I have at 20. I think that's fine. So I do have this 1 extra minute. I'm just going to give it back to Gallo. Atlanta is popping like crazy against Golden State. I wonder if their prices are jacked up a little bit. Or at least on FanDuel. Golden State. Golden State. Yeah, 1 cent. I think that's possible. They could go to more Jeff Green. They could go to more JaMychal Green. I just think it's going to be Dozier or Bones. I assume Iguodala is just in. Iggy, probable. No Wiseman, no Clay. So. Oh yeah. Forgot the cum bucket is in for the past couple of games. Good for him. I don't think I'm changing anything here other than probably trying to get Gary Payton more minutes now that he's just a part of the rotation. I don't have minutes going to Moses Moody. I don't have minutes going to Chris Chiozza. Bielitsa's minutes are fine. Otto Porter's minutes are fine. Damian Lee's minutes are the ones that are down. I've got him in at 22 now, so I don't even think that's crazy. How do I get more minutes to Gary Payton? That is the question. Iggy can come down 3 right out of the gate. So that gets Payton up to 13. Damian Lee's are fine. Jordan Poole's are fine. Everybody else looks fine. So I don't really have any places to give him more minutes. It doesn't matter. It's not like I'm going to be playing him, but because even still, he hasn't broke 20 minutes. So let's call it a day on Golden State. We're on to... Who the hell do they play? Atlanta. Yeah. All right. Atlanta. Wow. 8,500 for Trae Young on FanDuel. That's just not correct at all. 9,600 on DraftKings. Trae Young going to be very popular for me. John Collins is going to be popular for me at 6,800. Clint Capella is going to be popular for me at 6,300. Both of those prices better than their DraftKings counterparts. 4K DeAndre Hunter, 38K Cam Reddish, both on DraftKings are value options. But Young, Collins, Capella, I am going to get to a lot of that trio today on FanDuel. For the Warriors, Steph, 9,800. That's a really good price. 10.5 on DraftKings. It's a really good price, honestly. I don't mind it at all on a day like today. Jordan Poole, 5,800 is okay. There's not a ton else here. $5,500 Wiggins on FanDuel. I'm really liking the FanDuel pricing today. When it's soft like that, I think it's a benefit for me. 2 games to go. We're up over 100 likes. Much obliged to the people that handled that one. Let's go to Phoenix now. Phoenix and Sacramento, which I assume is going to help make Phoenix look like they have actual plays. And if someone happens to be out, even better. Just DeAndre Ayton, not really the guy that I wanted to be out. So I guess we're doing this. Ayton goes bye-bye. We had no Ayton twice now. We saw Frank Kaminsky get about 28 minutes. We saw JaVale's rotation not really change. So I'm going to go 19 here. 28 to Kaminsky. Actually, I'm going to go 28 and 20. Should I go... Yeah, 27-21 is what I'm going to do for Kaminsky and JaVale. I think that you want to make sure that you can get 28 and 20. I want to make sure that I do get to JaVale. I think it's a problem if you don't. Rest of these minutes should all be the same. There's not really any other rotational changes for this team. Chris Paul's playing more minutes as of late. That's interesting. I'm going to take him up to 34. Take Elf down. Oh, yeah, Campaign's back. Whoop. Got to get Campaign those minutes back. Wow, they did leave Abdel Nader in the rotation. That's fascinating. I think that works. Yeah. I mean, we're going to just smiggity smash Phoenix here in like a really aggressive way. I'm going to take one of those minutes away from Bridges so he doesn't pop so much on FanDuel, but oh, baby, are we going to be popping Phoenix today? Sacktown, a team that I've been playing aggressively as of late, particularly Rashawn Holmes. Everybody's in, so this should be a pretty easy rotation to manage. They haven't done anything weird other than the flip-flopping of Len and Thompson. Looks like today is probably a Thompson day. I don't have minutes rotations to change for these guys. I'm going to get to Holmes. I'm going to get to Barnes. And unfortunately, I'm going to get to too much De'Aaron Fox. I guess I'll take a minute from Fox just to save myself some sanity. So in this game, buckle up for Phoenix because I think their prices on FanDuel are wrong. All right. Best play in this game shouldn't be much of a surprise. If he's going to be playing 28 minutes, it's Frank Kaminsky. You're talking about a fantasy point per minute guy or more. He's 4,300 across both sites. He's going to be a very, very popular value. Don't sleep on JaVale at 4,200 or 4K. If Frank Kaminsky gets into foul trouble, if Frank Kaminsky turns into Frank Kaminsky, there's nothing to stop JaVale from going from 17 minutes to 24 minutes. That will matter at those salaries. $8,300 and $8,700 Chris Paul seems fine. Devin Booker, $8,500 on FanDuel. I thought would be an even better play than he is. He's not. Mikal Bridges is the guy that's popping the most for me in an aggressive manner in the 5Ks. I'm going to get to Bridges quite a bit. He's been at 0.76 fantasy points per minute so far this season, which is not ideal. I am going to knock his usage rate back just a hair. It's not going to change too much, but it will make him slightly less of a play. Lots to like on Phoenix because of Sacramento. Sacramento is the 7th fastest team in the league. Phoenix is actually 11th. So, good spot. Alrighty, on the Kings side. I like Barnes on both sites, 7,400, 7,300. You know he's going to play 36 minutes or more if it's competitive. He's a fantasy point per minute guy. There's a ceiling there. I will be going back to De'Aaron Fox at 7,400 on FanDuel. No surprise. 8,300 on DraftKings seems fine. Still just a 0.95 fantasy point per minute guy. He just has to make some shots. Rashawn Holmes, 7,200 across both sites. That's a really nice price tag for him. It just so happens center is loaded. Mo Harkless, 3,300 on DK. If you need a pay down value option, is fine. Halliburton seems to be priced properly, although 6K on DraftKings is a bargain. This game is... I don't like Phoenix and Sacramento being a late night hammer for me. That's not a game I want to stick around for, but looks like I will. And then we've got the legitimate late night hammer, my Charlotte Hornets, taking on the lowly Los Angeles Lakers. For Charlotte, doubtful tag on PJ Washington, which should make this really easy to project. Mason Plumlee has not gotten the minutes bump, which I find interesting. So I'm going to take him down to 26. Get Nick Richards up to 12. Jalen McDaniels in for 10 is fine. Did they really go to a 8-man rotation here? They did. What happened on Friday? Was that a blowout? Charlotte, it was a blowout. So, Book Night, Kai Jones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they were going to a 10-man rotation either way. That's fine. So, 32 minutes for LaMelo. Yeah, that works. 33 minutes for Terry Rozier. I'm going to make it 32 so I stop getting so much Terry Rozier. Cody Martin in for 23. Played 30 the last time out. His minutes seem to fluctuate enough that that's fine. Gordon Hayward in for 34. That makes sense. Miles Bridges in for 35. That makes sense. Could honestly be more. I'm happy with everything I got in here for Charlotte, at least for right now. On the Lakers side, I assume it's just no LeBron, but I don't know if his AD's tummy ache is gone. Oh, now he's got a thumb injury. You jam it up his... Never mind. AD. All right. Sprained his thumb on Thursday. Had the bum tummy on Saturday. We're just putting AD in. I don't know who we're kidding here. No LeBron, no Ariza, no Nunn, no Tucker. So I don't really get the sense I'm going to have a lot to change here because this is the same rotation I would have put in on Thursday. Ellington actually got big minutes finally now that AD was out, which means that he can, which means that he should, by the way. He should be playing more than someone like Austin Reeves. I don't know who those minutes would come from. I mean, they should come from like Rondo or something. There's no reason Rondo should be playing anything. Avery Bradley's minutes need to come down. Yeah, Adam finished like 4th and 5th or something like that from what I saw this morning. Dwight's minutes are fine. DeAndre's minutes are fine. AD's minutes are fine. Melo's minutes are fine. This team's just... It's you're only rostering 2 guys here. That's really the moral of this story. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Let's look at Charlotte. Actually, let's close that minutes tab. Save this. Let's look at Charlotte. Hornets. So on FanDuel, Bridges, Hayward, Ball, Rozier. 4 guys that I'd like to get to. Rozier at 5,300. I get it. 0.73 fantasy points per minute for Rozier this year is bad. I don't have anything that I could possibly say there. But let's look at what's happening. If we just look at Terry Rozier's stats. Now, we know things are going to get different. LaMelo's going to be more involved. The team, there are going to be changes. But Terry Rozier has 22% usage rate. Let's just say, for example, that needs to hold. I got him at 23. I don't think that that's crazy. This is the key piece. 41.6% true shooting. That's the same as cleaning the glasses points per shot metric. Last 2 seasons. 1.13 points per shot attempt, 1.16 points per shot attempt. This season, 0.83. He's just not going to continue to shoot impotently like this. He's not going to shoot. We're talking about a guy that's a 40% three-point shooter over the past 2 seasons, shooting 25% from 3 and 18% from the corner. He's so far away from just normal that I'm pushing forward for Terry Rozier, and I don't mind. So, Bridges, Hayward, Ball, Rozier. I really like all 4 on FanDuel. Clearly, Rozier is the best option. The other 3 look similar. On DraftKings, $7,700 Bridges is the priority in this group. Everybody else is, like, Hayward, $800 more expensive. Ball, $300. Rozier, $1,100. Who gets their shot back first? Terry or Fox? Or Lillard? Or I mean, we can do this a lot. I hope somebody at some point in time does, because it's going to bankrupt me. It's annoying to play correctly, and these guys just keep bageling out. Cody Martin for 3,600 on DraftKings needs to be mentioned. All right, we are through everything, which means the 180 of you that are here right now get to watch some crunches. So, first one up on the docket. That was the wrong one. There we go. First one up. FanDuel Optimals. Apparently I went to DraftKings first. Force of habit. FanDuel Optimal. This could go a couple different directions, but we know what the value pieces are going to be. De'Aaron Fox, Lonzo Ball, Luka, Terry Rozier, Mikal Bridges, PJ Dozier, Anthony Davis, Frank Kaminsky, Nikola Vucevic. I have nothing to add on this lineup. I like it. I expect Dozier's the only piece that could go a different direction depending on how they allocate the minutes, but Fox isn't going anywhere for me. Lonzo's not going anywhere for me. I like Luka. I like Rozier. I like that price tag on Bridges. Happy to pay up for AD. I didn't look at the Lakers. I just realized that. There's not much to say here. You're only playing either AD or Westbrook. Westbrook for 9,400 on FanDuel looks fantastic. I don't mind 10-6 for AD. On DraftKings, where they're both sort of more appropriately priced, it's AD by a lot. I really do like that lineup, though. I have no complaints whatsoever. The third one, as you can see, which only gives up 0.8 of a point, ends up getting Russ in over Luka. No, Luka's still in. Holy shit. Gets Russ in over Lonzo, and we drop down and go to the Kaminsky, JaVale. It's much more of a cash lineup. We'll just say that. All right, power rankings, which I think are going to be eye-opening, but we shall see. Great. Frank the Tank. Yeah, Cantor, I like that second one as well. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. Frank Kaminsky pretty clearly at number 1. Luka, Terry Rozier, Russ. I want to look at this, actually. I don't really like this. Okay. Kaminsky, Luka, Terry Rozier. Sorry, I got a pop-up email from Homage right there, but I didn't really like the shirts. Russ, AD, Gordon Hayward, Mikal Bridges, De'Aaron Fox, Vooch, John Collins, DeAnthony Melton, Harden, Blake, Anthony Edwards. I like it. I wish Locke was right now. I would like to put my exposures in. On the DraftKings side, this one can look a little bit different because of those 3K plays. I think it's going to be very stars and scrubsy here on this optimal. That's the feeling that I'm getting from looking through the slate. I am very correct. DeAnthony Melton, PJ Dozier, Desmond Bane, Frank Kaminsky, Steven Adams, Luka Doncic, AD, Holmes. Pay up Luka, pay up AD, to an extent pay down or pay up Holmes. Adams 4K, Kaminsky 4K, Bane 4K, Dozier 3,300, Melton sneaking over that mark. Or we go down a 1/10 of a point. We bring Ja into this lineup, pay down even more. We swap out Holmes for Ja, still have Luka, AD, and Ja, and multiple pay down options, including 2 more Grizzlies. That all looks fine to me. And then the third version of this one, same as the second, turns Holmes into Bam, basically. So that's where we're at. No issues with that. I mean, like, I probably wouldn't be running Melton and Bane, but I could be. I mean, it's Minnesota. Although Minnesota has been getting by on their defense, I don't anticipate that to continue. Power rankings on DraftKings. Nope, that's not what I'm doing. 250 lineups. There we go. Who's popping to the top of the DraftKings power rankings? Gonna be really fun to do this contenders video. 10 Grizzlies and fucking Frank Kaminsky. All right, yeah. So Kaminsky's pretty clearly going to be at the top of the heap here. I don't think that's going to be all that surprising either. Desmond Bane is just really popping for me, as is Steven Adams. We've got AD, PJ Dozier. These four, like you can see it here. Kaminsky separates. Adams, Bane, AD, and Dozier are all basically the same relative to salary. And then we drop down pretty significantly. Luka, Joel Embiid, Barnes, Melton, Dorian Finney-Smith, Fox, Aaron Gordon, Steph Curry, Mikal Bridges. The pricing on DraftKings is just so much more difficult. And that's why you're seeing this mid-tier of like Bane and Melton pop a bit. Not that I don't like these guys. You know, Melton's price is back down to 5,100, which is nice. Last time he was 5,100, he dropped 32 fantasy points. You would be cool with that. He dropped 40 after that. So I don't think it's all that crazy to go to someone like Melton there. Similar story for Bane. You know, he's down to 4,700 again. 4 straight games in the 5s, but when he was in the 4s, you know, we're talking about 4 out of 5 games at 33 fantasy points. 5x plus 10 for Bane today is 33 fantasy points. Like that, why not? That's a really nice price tag for Desmond Bane. So, FanDuel Power Rankings in. DraftKings Power Rankings in. Show's over, folks. Here, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. So, tomorrow, we have a 3-game slate. Tomorrow, if you're here for the process show, bring your questions. I'll answer whatever you guys want to do tomorrow morning, because it's going to be a relatively easy one. We're going to be in and out for 3 games. Have you guys seen the slate for Wednesday yet? I'm happily not going to be playing the main slate. I'm going to be en route, or actually already at where I'm on my way to. Look at this nonsense. So there's 3 games for tomorrow. You can see it on the bottom of the screen here. Look at Wednesday. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 game Wednesday slate. Get me away from that as fast as possible. That is gross. I wish they'd split it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Run a massive 5-gamer at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run a 6-gamer at 9 and just make it better. Then Thursday's another 3. And then Friday, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I'm missing the big 11 Friday one, which isn't bad. But Wednesday process show might as well just start right now. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do 13 games. Luckily, we don't have any time constraints. But we're probably going to go like 2 hours on that one. You know what? Maybe we'll do a giveaway on Wednesday. I'll put some pieces together. We're going to get somebody an Awesemo Plus month on Wednesday for the marathon. I'll figure out what we can do. Find some way to get the randomizer going. We'll spin the wheel. We'll give away. We will give. I know what I'll do. We'll be able to do it pretty quickly too. What we'll do is I'll create a form. Everybody can submit their email address, and then I will grab all of those emails at the I'm just going to say, I'm grabbing it now. This was your last chance. If you don't have it, I put them all into the wheel, spin it out, and we're going to pick somebody that gets a month. I think that's the plan. Jerry, sink full of dishes. Good to see you. Alrighty, guys. I think that's it for me. I think we're done. This is a fun slate. I gotta tell you, 8 games is perfect. I'm coming for this one. I'll be on live before lock tonight. I wish that I wasn't, so that I could focus a little bit more, but I think the times work out pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna be good. tons of content today. Strategy show, obviously. Contenders videos, obviously. I got to crank out Monday Night Football contenders videos at some point in time. Didn't really realize that I had to do that until this moment, but that's fine. We got a ton of time today. I don't got anything else going on. Just got to go to the gym. That's it. Got to go tomorrow, too, which is going to be awful. Back-to-back days for the first time in, like, forever. Derek, good to see you. Jeffrey, good to see you. I think that's going to do it. Again, tomorrow. If you've got questions for me, tomorrow's a great day for it. 3-game NBA slate. We're going to get right through everything. We'll be done by basically 7 o'clock tomorrow. We could take a solid 15 minutes of questions. So if you got like legitimate DFS style questions, tomorrow's the day to do it. Stop by for the stream. As usual, 6:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Although this week it's Monday through Wednesday. Good luck, guys. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your coffees. Enjoy your mornings. I hope you have a great day. Win some money. You know where we will be tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. right here, rising and grinding on the process.